Hey, so what up guys, how are you doing? So Safaricom recently posted their financials for the year 2024-2025. Now Safaricom is one of those companies I always talk about. I would say I'm a blind believer in Safaricom to some extent, even though it's supported by a lot of data, but I'm one person who believes there is one company that you should always have a stake. Why? Number one, I'm sure most of you watching this video right now are using Safaricom. And the one principle of investing that I talk about all the time is invest in things that you know. Invest in things that you use all the time. Invest in things that run your life, because the same way it's running your life, it's running other people's lives as well. They depend on it. You can actually see people using it. You can see what they're doing. You can see, the market that they have captured. And so by all means, I want to participate in something that I understand, something that I use, something that actually is part of my life, so that I am constantly interested, I'm constantly aware, and I constantly know what's happening with it. It's the best way and one of the most efficient ways of investing. You get to invest in things that you use every single day in your life. So Safaricom has done really well. It's one of those companies that I believe in so much because of so many reasons that I've mentioned today, and I've mentioned in so many videos. I always talk about Safaricom. But guys, the main thing here is to invest. Okay, so it doesn't have to be Safaricom, and I'm not one person who says, hey, you have to invest in this particular stock. That depends on your objectives, your plans, what you want to achieve, and basically just what you want to get in terms of your investments, really. So it's not about me telling you exactly where to put your money. It's about me analyzing different stocks. I'm analyzing different companies that I think would be of interest to most people, and I also think that you use them already in your daily life, and therefore they are very good companies to be part of somehow. Now, Safaricom has obviously gone down from its highs. We're going to look at the chart and see how much it's gone down. But for me, I always say it's an opportunity to buy. It's an opportunity for you to get into the market. It's an opportunity for you to take some stocks, some shares. I mean, it's an opportunity for you to collect some shares, leave them there. But this is a long-term investment. This is not a trading opportunity. If you're not trade, you can still trade on a daily basis or so. But if you want to invest long-term, this is still a good stock. I'm saying this without fear of contradiction. It's one of the best stocks I know in Kenya, and one of the most stable stocks, and I know why it's stable. And so if you're looking for a good stock, where to start? You're a beginner and you're looking for something that you want to hold, let's say 5 years plus, invest in Safaricom. You're going to make money. And you know what? Like I always say, don't come quoting me later. This is basically just me giving you my opinion. It's not financial advice. If you want specific attuned advice, then you know where to find me at kensmoneymatters.com. Anyways, guys, as usual, this Ken's Money Matters talk about the money mindset, how to make that money, how to enjoy that money, how to manage that money, how to invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of income, basically financial freedom. So we're talking about Safaricom today, and I just wanted to go through their financials. And thanks to my YouTube manager, she shared this information and was like, oh, this is something you should speak about. And I had actually seen it, and I told her actually this was on my list of the things I wanted to speak about. Obviously, a company like Safaricom, when they post their financials, is something you want to discuss on a money channel. So welcome, guys. Let's go through Safaricom. So I'm gonna look at some information here that they posted, because there are lots of numbers here, but I want to tell you what piqued my interest most on this particular one. Number one, Safaricom is still making profits. That's the first thing. You want to look at a company that is actually making profit. Now, making profit means what? It's not just about making profit for the sake of it. It means they have a market. It means they're in a position to do a good markup. It means they have a good balance sheet. It means they have good cash flow, because these are some of the things you're going to analyze when you want to buy a company. So Safaricom underscored the massive impact of its mobile money and financial services which is Empesa Africa. That is mainly now in Kenya and Ethiopia. I told you last year, and those who listen to my channel, I clearly told people to buy Safaricom before they went into Ethiopia. I clearly told people to buy Safaricom, and I explained exact reasons why I thought it was a good company at the time, and I explained exact reasons why I thought it was going to grow massively with time, despite the fact that at the time I was saying that the stocks were coming down rapidly. But it's not about what is happening at the time. It's about the fundamentals of the company. It's about where do they want to go to. It's about what's their target, what's their market target. It's about what are their products. So sometimes it's normal for a share price to go down. Like I mentioned all the time, these things are all sentimental, and they also depend on other macro and micro factors. But at the time when I was saying this, Safaricom was still not doing as well. But most people were like, oh, Ken, you always talk about Safaricom, you always like Safaricom, but the price is going down. I know what I'm saying. I've looked way further than what you see at that particular time. So as you can see, they went into Ethiopia. It's done really well in Ethiopia with a very good population in Ethiopia, which is still going to grow. So that is still a very important market for Safaricom. M-Pesa is no longer just a product, but a crucial infrastructure across Africa, right, and the globe. at large. People are using Safaricom everywhere. Now, let's give you some numbers that will be mind-boggling to you. So these are the facts, right? Empesa handled 28.3 billion transactions, not cash, 28.3 billion transactions. The transactions were valued at 40 trillion. That is just around 309 billion US dollars. Those are some crazy numbers, right? And I'll put this somewhere on the screen. And now to put that into perspective, this is nearly 3 times Kenyan's GDP that was, transacted, equivalent to an entire GDP of some countries like Chile, Vietnam, and Romania. That is how much that company has handled so far in that period. M-Pesa now processes over 21 million transactions per day. 21 million transactions per day, touching nearly every aspect of Kenyan life. That is where the secret lies. From taxi fares to school fees to utility bills, small businesses, payroll, remittances, everything. Safaricom is still a giant, is still a company that you want to be part of. The opportunity for growth is massive, is upward, and it's going to get just better. However much the stock is down right now, and we'll look at that in a few. Safaricom also hit a historic milestone, reporting over $1 billion US of EBITDA, okay? And making it the first company in East Africa to achieve this figure. So EBITDA is basically their earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So it means they are complete earnings, okay? It's a financial metric that is used in most cases to evaluate a company's operating profitability. So guys, this is how Safaricom has done so far. I want us to go into the screen right now and look at a few things on Safaricom, just in terms of like where has the share price come from, what are some of the financial metrics at this particular time, what is the cap, should you buy it, some of those things. Let's go. Now, this is TradingView, right? So we are on TradingView, Nairobi Stock Exchange market. This is just one of the charts you can open anywhere online if you want to. But here it is, yeah? Safaricom, as we speak right now, as of today, at 11:32 GMT, and this is May of 2025, Safaricom is at 20 Kenya shillings per share, okay? And it's gained 2.81 on a daily trading volume. So let's look at the overview first. And then before we go and look at, you need to do your research before you do any investment. I'm always keen on make sure you've done your research, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure you understand what you're doing, make sure you know some of the basic details and the fundamentals of that particular company. Like I always say, you don't just invest for the sake of investing. All right, okay, cool. Let's look at this. Okay, this is a really good one, yeah? So if you come down here, you will see on a one-day, the one-day change was 2.8%. So if you are doing a daily trade, then of course you will have made money as well. 5 days, Safaricom has gained 5.7. 1 month, we're talking 13%. 6 months, we're talking about 31%. And year to date, we're talking about 16.86%. 1 year period, we're talking about 17%. Okay. We've done well badly in 5 years because of what happened during, after COVID. Safaricom has actually not really fully recovered. And all-time high is at 528%. All-time is 528%. So imagine if you invested in Safaricom when it was launched. We're talking about that kind of rate right now. So if you're a trader, you could still get money. But if you're just looking at short term, let's say 1 month to 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, you can still make money as well. That's 30% return on your money. So stocks are still really good if you know what you're doing. Year to date, we're still talking about 16%, and 1 year period, we're talking about 17%. So if you're someone who was you're not really interested in the money anytime soon, you're willing to let it grow. Even those 5 year, that negative return is for 5 year period, but you might not have that negative 26, because obviously if you invested earlier, that negative goes off your profits and not off your principal. Unless you invested exactly within 5 years, then of course you will have that negative return. But still, if you look at all time, it's 528% upwards. So it's still not a loss at all by any stretch. Anyways, so looking at Safaricom, this is the overview really. That's the performance in different periods, depending on when you want to invest. Now, I wanted to come down here to key statistics. Yeah? The market capitalization of Safaricom at the moment is 770 billion Kenya shillings. That's the market cap right now. We're talking about a dividend yield of 6%, which is amazing. For those who, this is indicated. Then we have price to earnings ratio, which is a very important metric as well, that you must use of 13.75, which is quite okay. It seems a bit high, but it's quite okay. So this is basically the company's earnings per ordinary share. So earnings per share. So 1.4. The net income for the financial year, we're talking about 62 billion. That's net income. Revenue of 349 billion. Shares float is 10 billion. That is still out there. And yeah, it has employees number here, the changes it experienced over time. 1 year, 16%. And then all these things here. So about Safaricom, it's a communications sector company. It's headquartered in Nairobi. You know that the CEO is Ndegwa. It's a telecommunication company, and all those details you might want to know. You come down here to the financials. You want to look at the details and the profits and all this information, which I won't get into. So these are just some of the things you want to look at. Now let's go back. If you're looking at all time, as you can see, Safaricom was at around 45, 46 at some point, and this was around 2021. So Safaricom has gone almost to 50. It was around 45, 46, 47. That's almost 50. And obviously, I think that's the highest it's gone. Let's look at back. As you can see, around 2022, April, around 2022, 23, 24, it started picking up again. And now Safaricom is nicely on a nice upward trajectory. I don't see any issue with Safaricom at all. I'm not worried about it going down. I believe these are cycles of trading, cycles of a market. They invested a lot of money when they were going to Ethiopia. Then there was COVID. There are a lot of macro factors that obviously affected this trading, but I still believe Safaricom will go way, way, way higher than 45. So if you're someone looking into a good stock in Kenya, this is a good stock for you. So that's just like so this is a bit of a snapshot of where Safaricom has been. So you can see it's gone all the way high, and now as you can see again, we're having a very clear trend going up. So this is something you might want to look into. So coming back here, let's look at the financials just a little bit, just a bit of a sneak peek. I don't want to go into the details of it, but here you have all the key facts of the financials. If you wanted to buy Safaricom, I've mentioned some of them already, but here you want to look at the held shares, the free float shares as well. You want to look at the market cap, what is their debt, what's their minority interest, what's their cash and equivalents, very important as well, because you want to look at balance sheet, cash flow, income statement. You want to look at the valuation, the price to earnings ratio, price to sales ratio, which we mentioned as well. You want to look at their growth and profitability. It will show you clearly here every quarter. Revenue to profit conversion. If you want to look at their revenue against their profit, how are they doing? Revenue breakdown. If you want to look at it by country, you can see here Kenya still has the highest revenue. And then of course you want to look at their revenue breakdown by source. You can see Empesa has the highest here at 140 billion. Then the voice, then mobile data, and many other stuff that they offer. And that's why I also like Safaricom, because they have lots of stuff that they do offer. So you want to look at dividends, the dividend history as well, how they've performed in terms of dividends. If you want to be investing mainly for dividends sake, you want to look at that, the earnings retained, the payouts for the dividends, then the financial health of the company. Again, here you're looking at their debt level and coverage, financial position analysis, short-term and long-term, and many other factors. So here, if you just want to look at their financials, if you want to look at any other things like technicals, forecasts, seasonal ideas, you can come in here and look at them. Here we have statements, we have statistics, we have dividends, we have earnings, we have revenue. Whatever you want to look at really. But Safaricom as a company is still a very good company. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you feel Safaricom is going to do really well. I always use this as well to just so the information is there out there, guys. If you look for the information, you'll find it. If you come to this page, for instance, and you want to look at the market performance, 1 week market performance, let's say you are just trading for a week. Let's say you're just trading for a week, right? Or trading for 4 weeks, or 3 months, or 6 months, or 1 year, or year to date. It gives you all the information that you might want to see here as well, and the volumes and the change, and at what point it opened, what point it closed. There's lots of information about Safaricom out there if you still want to invest. So use different sites, look at the information available for a particular company, but Safaricom is still a very stable company to buy. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about this company? Have you bought it ever? Did you make any money? Have you traded this company? Are you interested now? Let me know.